Hi everybody, it's Abby here again. Thank you for joining me today. So it is an absolutely rubbish day here for weather. It's done nothing but rain for the entire weekend, so I decided to put my cosy jumper on. I've even got my heating on, trying to get some washing dry, and I thought I would cozy up and do some colouring today. So I'm hoping that you'll join me and that you'll find it relaxing just as I do. I'm going to light a candle. So this is my Yankee Candle Lavender Peach, which I just find very relaxing. This fragrance is very calming and soothing, perfect for a wet, miserable day like this one. Okay, so I'm just going to light this now. There we go. Okay, so that's just going to help to calm everything down and just keep the atmosphere nice and cozy and nice and relaxed. And I hope you'll join me for the next part of the video, where I'm going to show you a picture that I'm going to try and colour in. Okay then, so I've got this colouring book here which I ordered with a cushion that I bought, and it's by a fantastic artist called, don't know if you can see that, the light shining on it, called Stephen Brown. Okay, and I think his Highland cow picture is quite iconic. So I absolutely love elephants. I love anything to do with elephants, and he does a lovely picture. I'll see if I can find it actually. Bear with me. And my cushion that I bought has got the family of elephants, and I absolutely love it, so I thought I would treat myself to this cushion and put it on my sofa. Okay, just seeing if it's actually here or not. Bear with me. Okay. There's lots of Highland cows in the background. Okay, I think that's a Loch Ness monster. Now, let me have a look here. Actually, no, the elephants aren't on here. This is actually volume 2, so they may have been in the first volume, so perhaps I need to look at getting that from somewhere. But anyway, this is a giraffe, and I also love giraffes. I love any animal, if I'm perfectly honest. And I've got lots of, as I said, elephant things around my house. Anything to do with giraffes or sort of African scenes as well, I really love. So I thought what I'd do is look at this picture today, and obviously there's a picture of him already coloured at the top, but I will obviously do my own thing, put my own stamp on it. Won't look anywhere near as good as Stephen Brown does it, but hey ho, it's all about being creative, isn't it, and doing your own thing. So anyway, this giraffe is called George McZoo, and there's a little write-up about all the creatures, which is lovely to read as well. This says, George is handsome, aloof, and not interested in anything but the best. Highest branches and the juiciest leaves. He thinks everyone else is beneath him, which I like. So, yeah, it's a lovely picture. So, I've got my pencil case here, which I'm not quite sure what's inside it. Lots of pencils, surprisingly. Okay, so I'm going to pick some random colours from those. Okay, I've also got my fine liners as well. so I can add some definition where it's needed. Okay, so I'm going to get started, I think, with a pencil. Okay, so let me have a little dig in here and see what colour comes out. I'm hoping they're all sharpened. So this is a dark colour. Okay, so I'm just going to take my watch off as well because it gets in the way. There we go. So I'm going to do some of these spots on his head. Okay, let's see what colour we've got here. So it's a nice dark shade. Looks a bit purpley, like a dark purple colour. Okay, so I'm just gonna colour that one in. Okay, there we go. I'm just gonna try and shade it slightly as well. So, like I mentioned in my previous colouring video, I do find colouring very, very relaxing. I am not in any way, shape or form artistic, but it's something that I would love to be. And this kind of covers sort of a little bit of that without me having to try and create any monstrosities, which my artwork would be, unfortunately. Okay, so I'm just gonna colour another one of these spots in. Okay, and as I say, I'm always very, very jealous of people who are artistic or do have that kind of natural talent, and I would love, 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 love to see any of your artwork, you know, or anything you do to be creative, to be honest, anything at all. It's so essential for well-being, it's so essential for our stimulation, cognitive stimulation, so I think being creative in any way, shape or form is absolutely essential, I think, for a sense of well-being, and to feel, just gives you a sort of well-rounded feeling, doesn't it, when you create something, even if that's cooking or doing something in the garden or makeup, fashion, anything at all, anything you like to make. Another hobby of mine is I like to make candles. I love my candles. I love my fragrances. So I like to buy some wax, and I just use my old candle jars and I make my own candles. I've got some essential oils that I put in, and I make different fragrances, some of them nicer than others, obviously. And I also have some colours that I put in, so I will do sort of a layer of a certain colour, and then I will leave that to completely harden and cool, and then I'll add another layer of wax in a different colour and sort of try different fragrances together and just make my own. And it's just a little hobby, it's nice and relaxing to do. And then I also have some lovely candles at the end of it, which I love. You know, this time of year it's getting darker now. We're officially in autumn, as my crazy daughter, who loves autumn, likes to remind me. She's very happy it's autumn. I am not, because I am a fan of the sun and the warm, but I do have to admit that these cold, darker evenings are quite nice when you get to stay at home and you get to put a big cosy jumper on, a blanket over you, burn some candles, put some nice relaxing lights on, watch some cheesy TV as well. I do love my cheesy TV. Just switch off from the world a bit then, can't you? You know. But I do not like being out and about in the dark and the cold. I definitely don't like that. I used to do a job where I worked in the community. I actually still do it as a part-time basis, on a casual basis when they need some cover. I'll still go out and just sort of looking after people. People who are nearing the end of their lives. It's a very worthwhile and quite uplifting job, strangely enough, but I don't enjoy the dark evenings driving around trying to find houses, and I live in quite a rural county, so we're literally travelling all around the county, and it is sometimes quite difficult. The only saving grace is there are two of us, so we always have somebody there for backup. Okay, I'm going to pick another colour. I'm hoping I pick one that's a bit more brighter. This looks nice. It's like a sort of an orangey colour. You see that? Okay, so I'm going to do some more of the spots now. So he's going to be very colourful. Oh, actually, I can't really see that very well. It's quite a light shade. I'm not sure I like that one very much. I shall try and press down a little bit. No, I definitely don't like that one because you can't really see it very well. It's a very, very, very light shade. You probably can't see that on camera either. Oh no. I'm going to actually pick something different now, okay? Right, let's hope something better comes out. Oh, it's a dark blue. We don't want that, do we? Here we go. This one looks a bit better, hopefully. More of an orangey shade, so I'm just going to go over this spot again. Oh dear, I'm not doing very well here with these colours. Okay. It's a little bit dark. It's just like a very, very light brown. Not the best though, to be honest. Okay. Definitely not the best. I'm going to replace this one again now. Dig deep. I keep coming up with all the dark ones. Now that looks like it might be quite light as well. Let's have a little try. It's a little bit more orangey. Just going to make that spot there a bit darker, I think, so we can actually see some colour on it. There we go. Okay. I think I'm going to have a look for another colour now. They're all very dark, these pencils. I don't know what's going on. It's a light blue. That looks a bit greeny, so I might try that one. Okay. It's an interesting colour. It's almost like a army green colour. There we go. So I'm just gonna. He's not very bright, this giraffe. We definitely need some brighter colours, I think. Nice bright reds and oranges, I think, just to make him look a bit more ready for the jungle, I think. Giraffes, I don't know if giraffes live in jungles. I don't think they do they? I think it's more on the plains, isn't it? I'm not sure actually where giraffes, whether they would live in a jungle. Not entirely sure. to find that one out. Just gonna colour in a couple more of these spots. But like I say, I'll try and find a brighter colour, I think. There we go. So I don't know if you can hear at all, but it's the rain is really coming down, and the cars passing by are making quite a lot of noise through the rain and all the wet roads outside. We've even had a bit of flooding because Friday night we had a huge thunderstorm and the lightning just kind of went on for ages, and a lot of the roads were flooded, so it's been interesting. But luckily I haven't had anything on this weekend really, so managed to stay out the wet. Except when the dogs go outside and get covered in mud and they smell like wet dog, which isn't very nice. Okay, I'm going to have a little look for something a bit brighter. Lots of blues in here. Right, what have we got? That's a browny colour. There's a nice red colour. So I'm going to do some of these spots in red and see if that looks any better. Because obviously Stephen Brown's pictures, they're very, very bright colours, very vivid, bright. And I just think they're lovely. They really sort of brighten the place up. My cushion is of three, like a family of 3 elephants. And it just brightens up my sofa, because my lounge is quite, I've got a lot of grey, so this just brings a little bit of colour into the lounge as well, which is nice. Okay, so that's a little bit brighter, so he's starting to look a little bit more cheerful, I think. Okay, so that's his nose area, so might leave that one for the minute. Perhaps do one of these down here. Okay. There we go. He's looking a little bit brighter now. George McZoo. I like that name. I like the names and the stories that he gives to his animals. It's a bit of fun, isn't it, really? Okay. So it's always been a dream of mine to see elephants and giraffes in the wild. So I think one day I'd love to do a safari. That's my ultimate dream. I need to save up and do it properly, really, and that's what I'd like to do. Definitely on the bucket list, that one would be my absolute dream holiday. Which I definitely need to think about holidays and sunshine in this weather. Look forward to going away and getting some sun. I'm not a fan of the winter. It brings me down a little bit. I like to see the sun. I like to be outside and be warm. Yeah, I'm definitely not a fan of the winter. So that's one thing I'm not looking forward to. If I could stay at home every day, I'd be fine, but it's going out and about and going to work, and especially when there's ice and snow and things, it's not easy. But we shouldn't complain, really, should we? Okay, so I'm just using the red on a few more places. I might put some red on his neck as well, just to make him a little bit brighter. I think he needs to be a bit brighter. There we go. So I also found my old lava lamp, which I used to love, but it's sat unused for quite a long time, so unfortunately it's not warmed up yet. But they're quite nice when they get going. You can get quite a nice relaxing light from them as well. I quite like a lava lamp. I'm very much one for nice lighting, nice fragrances, anything to relax, really. You know, we all have stressful jobs and things like that, don't we? And I think relaxing and just zoning out is really important. And yeah, it's really important to me. You know, I like time on my own. I like to just be able to switch off. You know, I do get quite anxious at times, so for me it's nice to just feel that I can completely and utterly relax, which I struggle to do when I'm around other people and things. So I think, you know, we all have our ways to relax. We all have our preferences. Some people love being around other people, and it's really important to them. And I do, to a certain extent. I do need that time with other people, but I also need a lot of time to switch off and just be with myself, really, with my own thoughts, and just be able to switch off. It's just nice, just relax, isn't it? So we've got some funny sort of spots here that are sort of split up into different areas, so I'll try and do some sort of shading or something in those areas. Try and do sort of like a mix of colours. I never ever have a plan for my colouring. I just like to dig in, see which colours come up, and just be creative with it, really. Sometimes it's an absolute disaster. Other times it works. I will actually show you some of my colouring. I might actually, thinking about it, I'll put some photos up so that you can sort of see some of my better attempts anyway. Some that I've actually perhaps shown on social media or something, because I've been quite proud of them. Because, like I say, I am not artistic. I cannot draw. But you don't need to be able to draw, so I've been told. You can be creative in lots of different ways. And, you know, there's lots of ways that you can express yourself, lots of ways that you can, you know, let your creative juices flow, as they say. So there's a nice sort of light. Oh, we've had a green now, haven't we? I'm thinking about a nice, really light blue colour. That looks quite nice and light. So let's see if we can do something with that. Okay. So nice light blue there. Okay. So I'm just thinking of doing a sort of blending it in with the red there. So I'd love to hear from you guys about ways that you're creative or things that you like to do to relax, or anything that you like to do in your spare time that gives you that feeling of well-being, just makes you feel a bit more like yourself. Because we're all very different, we all have our own ways of coping and getting through the day, don't we? There we go. I don't know, I'm hoping you can see this on the camera. Just trying to sort of blend a bit. That's why I do like pencils over the felt tips. Sometimes it's just easy to use a felt tip or a gel pen and just do those big blocks of colour. And I think maybe with a picture like this, it's probably quite nice to do that. But I do also like to use the pencils just to sort of blend and just create lots of different textures and things like that. I have actually got a blending pencil somewhere, but I thought I wouldn't be too technical today, just keep it nice and simple. And okay, I'm just going to do some more with that blue because it's quite a nice light shade of blue. It's a little bit brighter. There we go. Okay. That looks quite nice, doesn't it? So like I said, I will hopefully have shown you some of the pictures that I have coloured. I'll hopefully have put that on this video. Sort of learning with this editing and how to get videos looking a bit better and adding things onto them. So it's good learning new skills, which is also very good for you. Since I finished at university, for the time being, I'm always looking for new things to learn and to develop, and I do love learning, and I do love, gaining new skills and things, so it's good. Anything I can do. Like I say, I work in a job with people who have been diagnosed with dementia, and that's a huge part of my role, is to promote learning new skills and keeping the brain as stimulated as possible. And you're never too old, never ever ever too old. And we always say that, always look to learn new things and take on new information. That's what the brain's designed to do. And it's very, very, very good for it. It's a muscle and it likes to be used, so I like to take my own advice and keep learning. You know, I'm not far off turning 50. 2 years' time I'll be 50, so not that that's old. It definitely isn't old. Not by today's standards, but and I will certainly not ever admit that I'm old, ever. Even if I'm lucky enough to live to a ripe old age, I still won't ever be old. So there we go. So he's looking a little bit more brighter. Okay. There we are. Hoping you can see he's getting a bit more colourful, which is good. I'm just going to do another blue one up here. Then I might look at doing something with a felt tip, because I've got loads of bright colours in this pack and they probably will really, really brighten George up, because I feel like he needs to be nice and bright, especially on this dull, dark day. It's just, we need bright colours. We need to feel some sun from somewhere. I definitely do, anyway. Okay, so let's have a look in this pack. So I hope you can see there's lots of bright colours there. So I might try and go very, very bright and do this nice bright pink. Oh, if I can get hold of it. There we go. So these are fine liners. So as you can see, they are very, very, very fine. Okay, so good for nice small spaces. So I'm just looking at some of the lines on George. So I might do some around these spots that he's got on him. Okay. There we go. Oh, the traffic sounds very noisy outside because of all the water. I hope it's not too loud for you. I don't live on a main road or anything, but we do get the cars from the estate just going up and down, so there's a fair bit of traffic in the day, but nothing too busy. Let's just put some around here. So we're just going to brighten George up a bit with this nice pink, so he's going to look a lot pinker. The only other trouble with using felt tips, especially gel pens, they're the worst, is the smudging that sometimes you get when you're busy and you forget that you put your hand over it and it smudges and you've got pen all over your hand and it makes a mess. That's the only downside, really. And then you end up with splotches of ink in places you didn't want it, so okay. So I quite like that pink colour. I think it's starting to make him look a bit more defined, isn't it? I will use a different colour as well for some of the others, just so he's nice and colourful, and a good mixture of colours as well. It's nice to have a good mixture. There we go. There we are. around here as well, because I do quite like the pink. It's really making him look nice and bright, isn't it? Okay, around here. There we go. So yeah, I think seeing a elephant in the wild would be my ultimate dream, but I think seeing any animal in the wild, I think is quite emotional, really. You know, exotic animals in Africa, things like that. I think I would be quite emotional, especially as, you know, we're not sure how long these animals are going to be around, which is a tragedy, a huge tragedy, and one that we need to seriously look at, really, isn't it? Because they're just so fantastic. We're so lucky, really. Right, I'm going to pick a different colour. Okay, so I might look at perhaps let's have a look at a greeny colour. Okay, so complete contrast to our pink. Okay, and I'm just going to do some more around here. That's quite a dark colour. Just checking I haven't got any ink on my hands, because I don't want pink splodges all over. There we go. So another thing I'd love to do is to go whale watching. Not quite sure where the best place is to see a whale, but that's another thing that I think I would be very, very, very emotional. I think it'd be such a special thing to see a whale in the wild. Be amazing. And I'd be very happy, very, very happy to see that. There we go. Okay, so I hope you can see that there's some definition now, which is nice. Like I say, it's just a bit of relaxation for me, really. I like to just use it to completely switch off, just a bit of mindfulness. I think sometimes you busy thinking about the colours and the picture and realise that you haven't thought about anything that's worrying you for a long time, which is so important, isn't it? Just to get away from those cares and worries that we all have, you know. There we go. Sometimes it's not easy filming videos when you've got a family in the house. You've asked them all to be quiet, but they don't. So you end up having to stop and wait for them to finish being noisy. And I've got 2 dogs who are also quite barky as well, which doesn't help matters either. But there we go. Okay. So I'm going to go back to my pencils now and going to see what I can find. It's like a brownie, it looks like a very dark red. So I'm just going to have a little look and see what this looks like. Yeah, it's quite a brown shade, so that's quite good. So it's slightly different to the red. I'm not going to use too much of this though, because it does look quite similar. I might possibly put another colour over the top just to make it look like a slightly different shade. Maybe make it look a bit more brown. Perhaps add an orangey colour or something. What have I got? Oh, this is a bit brown, so I'm just going to see what this looks like over the top. There we go. That's quite a nice shade actually, quite like that. These pencils are very good. They kind of blend really nicely. So you can almost get different, almost like a light and shade type colour. So it looks like the light's hitting it, or it's in a bit of shadow. You can really blend it up, which is really nice, which I like to do. There we go. So, okay. So he's starting to look quite colourful now, so that's good. Lots of different shades. Okay. Just looking at my lava lamp and it's still not warmed up yet, which is a bit of a shame. They're nice when they get going properly. Okay. Some different colours on there. I'll just do this one. So, anyway, I hope you found this video relaxing. I hope it's something that you can use just to switch off. I love colouring ASMR videos. Something I listen to quite a lot when I'm going to sleep. I love this, especially when it's just rambling, people rambling and things. So, and I really enjoy making them as well because, well, I get to do my colouring, which I love to do. So that's good. So I'm going to leave it there for now, okay? And I will hopefully come back in another video and finish off George, because he definitely needs some more colours and he definitely needs to be finished. So hopefully you can join me again for that and we can pick some nice colours together and make him look lovely. But I just want to say thank you for joining me today, and I hope you're having better weather wherever you are or whenever you're watching this, and I will see you again soon. So take care, my lovelies. Bye bye.